This episode is brought to you by the Slash and Cast Podcast Network.
There are legends around here,
Who died in Mage, you fucking king of the zombies?
even if only in their own minds. Forgotten, but not yet dead.
I want to play a game.
Some have tried to stop them, but they keep coming back.
Don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out.
Coming to entertain you. They are the Crystal Lake Soldiers.
Welcome back to the Crystal Lake Soldiers podcast. My name is Isaiah, as always. Tonight I'm joined by Jesse from the Silver Screen Scream Show, and we're going to be talking about Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers, continuing our Halloween Retrospective series. How are you doing tonight, Jesse?
Hi, Isaiah. Thank you for having me on. I'm super excited. This is, as a lot of people know, this is like my favorite one.
Yep.
I mean, it is what it is, but I am very excited to be here. I'm so glad that you asked me to come on for this one. So,
Yeah, definitely. It's my pleasure to have you on here. It's going to be interesting to see your thoughts versus my thoughts on it, because I used to absolutely hate the movie. I don't hate it as much now.
right.
As much. So we'll get into all that here shortly. Before we do that, though, like, what have you been up to lately?
I have been, this month has been a really insane month for me. I think the month of August has been like the most change I've had in my entire life. I lost my dad at the very beginning of the month.
Yeah.
And, I went from that to, I went on vacation right after that. I had already pre-planned back in February. And so I had this whole week of relaxation and like really got to like stayed away from my phone. Right.
Yep.
And then I came back and I jumped right into student teaching, and I'm right now with first graders, and honestly, help me. Help me. Oh my gosh. It's a lot. And, but other than that, honestly, I love it. And I've just been super, super busy, honestly. So yeah, I don't feel like I have no free time, but I honestly love it. So I'm okay with it.
Right. What is this free time you speak of?
I was going to say, I honestly, I don't even know what it's like anymore. So
Yeah. It's wild. It's wild to think about just having free time. I mean, I'm just being so busy, and I'm sure you're just as busy, if not more busy than I am.
Yeah, it's really insane. And like I'm transitioning also between two jobs right now too, to fit around my student teaching schedule. And it's like between that and just the change of all the changes this month. I will tell you this, in my free time, the little amount that I do have, I got back into reading again because I love to read. So I just got back into reading, and I am very proud of myself that I can find the time to be able to read. I don't know what that is, but anyways, how have you been though?
Pretty good. Like I said, I've been super busy lately, and it's been nice. Just honestly, even with being super busy, it's kind of helped me keep focused on things, whether it's being focused with my girlfriend or trying to see how I'm going to change up the podcast and whatnot. Just with the recent changes and everything, and trying to work through this series and everything, and trying to see what I want to do with it. So it's been a lot of work, working my actual job, working with this, and then just spending time, with her and just doing stuff. So
I love it for you though. Oh my gosh. Like I'm here for it.
Right?
Oh my gosh. Anyways, but let me just ask, how excited are you for the Halloween film?
Oh my God, I can't fucking wait, because I've already got planned out. I'm going to see it 3 nights in a row. I'm going the opening night, the Friday night, and then probably Saturday night.
Okay, but let me ask you this. We're knocking on wood here. But like, what if you go and see it the first night and it's honestly, you're disappointed? Will you still go and see it like 2 more times?
I probably will, but I'll probably be crying and dying on the inside.
You'll probably go the second time because you got to make sure it really was.
Right.
Honestly, I don't see it to be even anywhere near that. So I'm excited. I'm so excited. So
same. I mean, between that and then you've also got like Candyman coming out this week.
I seen that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's
super excited for that too.
Oh gosh, that's whole nother conversation there.
Right. But there's a lot to get excited about with movies and whatnot, and because then even moving into November, you've got like the new Ghostbusters movie coming out, which they just did like a test screening this week for it, and I guess it was nothing but positive feedback.
Good.
So that got me super hopeful and super excited to see it. So
yeah, that's exciting because I know that's one of those films that.
Yeah, especially when you got the fan base,
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, yeah. I know. Well, that's like Twitter. I mean, with the upcoming Spider-Man film. I mean, everyone. I mean, I know we're getting off horror at this moment now, but I'm just saying. I mean, I know what you mean because Twitter was like running rampant just over the past couple of days because they've been putting out teasers, and everyone's losing their shit.
Oh, for sure.
So.
And then they finally released the trailer, and everybody's just like super excited and hyped for it, which is great. I mean, it's about time they finally got a fucking trailer out, seeing as it's coming out in December. So
absolutely. So there's a lot of good movies coming out.
Oh, for sure. And
I mean,
can't wait.
I'm here for it.
I really am. I've been wanting some good movies to come out into the theaters, and it's just like they've been waiting for so long now, and just pushing everything off, and finally they're coming. So
I know, and I feel like they're so we deserve it after the shitty ass like year and a half we've been going through.
Oh, fucking no doubt. I mean, for sure, we need it.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness, that's funny.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
I know. Candyman, I'm probably gonna end up having to see at home, but I mean, at the same time,
is it coming out on HBO Max?
Yes.
Thank God. Oh, thank Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Okay. All right. I was wondering because sometimes, well, listen, this is another off horror topic, but I went to watch the film, the Jungle something, the one with The Rock in it that
Jungle
just
Cruise.
came out. Yes, Jungle Cruise. Thinking that it was on HBO Max. Nope, it's on Disney. And I'm sorry, I already pay $14 for Disney Plus.
Yep.
I am not adding on another $20 to $30 to watch a movie that I can wait for a month and a half. Like Cruella DeVille, I waited all this time to watch it. It comes out, I think, in like 2 days.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna do it. I refuse to do it. I'll suffer.
It's ridiculous how much Disney charges for that upfront cost on top of what you pay for the fucking service just to see it opening day, whereas HBO Max, they've got it where they've got all their movies for Warner Brothers coming out same day as theaters this year, and you don't have to pay anything extra.
Right, exactly.
I mean, it's just dumb. It's so stupid. Just Disney's so big and so rich that they can just do whatever the fuck they want, and people are going to still give them money.
People will. I'm telling you, people. It does not matter what they do. They could do the most horrendous ass stuff to people, and everyone's like, "I love you so much. Let me give you every bit of my money."
Right.
I mean, like honestly, that's how they are. I mean, I'm serious, but you know what? I love HBO Max for the fact that they give us like all those good juicy movies that you would think they wouldn't. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
They always give us the good ones. Always. So I'm not complaining.
Yeah, I'm definitely. It's definitely my favorite streaming platform, and it's not even because it was it's owned by AT&T and because I used to work for AT&T. Nothing like that. It's literally like the quality of content there is fucking second to none. I mean,
oh, absolutely. There's no doubt. I could go through there right now, pick out any movie you click on is a good movie. I haven't found really one bad movie on there.
Right.
By the way, did I ever tell you that I don't know if you've seen this. Did you know that I finally watched Trick or Treat for the first time?
Really? Okay.
Yes, I had never seen it. I watched it back in July. And when I was cat sitting, I said it, cat sitting. I did. I watched it while I was cat sitting, and I loved it.
Awesome.
Loved that movie.
That's like one of my go-tos for watching during the Halloween season every year.
I could watch it. Yeah, I could watch it, honestly, anytime. Anytime I could watch that film. So I really liked it a lot.
What was your favorite segment out of that.
Okay, so my favorite segment out of Trick or Treat, I mean, I feel like you're already going to know what I'm going to say. I really loved, what was her name? Was it Tara? No. What was the little girl, the little witch's name?
Shit.
Cece's going to slit throats. She's going to, because I know for a fact that's like her favorite. Oh my gosh, Kyle is too. Oh my gosh. Anyways, it was the children's sequence.
Okay.
I liked theirs a lot, and I also liked the werewolf sequence. That was pretty cool.
The werewolf sequence was my favorite.
Right. I didn't realize, I forgot what her real life name is, but the girl who plays Rogue in the original X-Men film.
Anna Paquin.
Thank you. I didn't realize she was in the film. And so, of course, when I seen her, because I love her, but I instantly was like, oh gosh, it's going to be good. Okay. All right. I didn't realize it was going to be as gory and in your face as it was.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. But overall, it was a movie I could definitely rewatch that. So
for sure.
Yeah.
It's definitely one of those movies, like each of the, because like a lot of times when you get those anthology movies, most of the time you're going to have segments that are kind of sucky, to go along with the good ones. But like this one, I don't think there was one bad segment out of any of them.
No. You know what it reminded me of? It kind of reminded me of All Hallows Eve.
Yeah.
In a way, I mean, it was a little bit more, I feel like Trick or Treat was more a little family oriented, but not really. But I feel like All Hallows Eve, like, it was obviously like didn't give a shit.
Right. And honestly, I mean, All Hallows Eve gave us Art the Clown, so I mean,
right, exactly.
So good just because of that.
Right, absolutely. So, but yeah, I mean, and here's the thing, I actually despise anthology films, anthology series. Like, for instance, the new American Horror Stories, haven't watched them because I have this thing. Like, I watched this show on what was that? What was it? Shudder. I think it was Channel Zero. Was that what it was called?
Yep.
Okay. So I watched it and I just noticed that first it was an anthology, and I thought, oh God, I hate anthology. Like, you know what I mean? But honestly, I mean, it was good. I loved it. So some of them, stand out for me, but others I'm just kind of like, oh God.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely the anthology things can be very hit and miss, and a lot of times more misses than hits. So
Right. And I know that, like, for instance, like, and there's no doubt that, I mean, I will definitely watch the American Horror Stories at some point. I always do. But I know that, oh shit, I had his name in my head, the creator. Ryan
Murphy.
Thank you. Ryan Murphy, he is, I don't know what my deal is tonight with names. Have you noticed that? Like, I'm sitting up here like, what's their name? And here you are, like, instantly, you know it, you know what I mean? But Ryan Murphy, yeah. Ryan Murphy is I love Ryan Murphy. I love his vision on most of his work, but Ryan Murphy is a very big hit or miss kind of person.
Yes.
Either he's creating something that you're going to fucking love, or he's creating something you're going to fucking hate.
And that's my relationship with American Horror Story. Either I like the seasons or I hate them.
Right. Me too. And out of all of them, there's probably a handful that I do like, and I hate to say that, but it's true.
Yeah.
For me, at least, but I don't know.
Honestly, I don't think I've liked any of the seasons outside of the first 4.
Okay, interesting, because I liked the first 2, not 3. I did not like number 3. I liked the first 2, but I didn't really start getting more into them until from season 5 on. Okay. Isn't that weird?
That is. I mean, it's not terribly weird. Okay, so like, when you think of like, so let me backtrack a little bit. So I love the first 3, like everything about the first 3 seasons I loved. Freak Show I liked up until the end. I didn't care for the end of that.
That's interesting, because that's the only episode I actually liked in the entire series.
Oh, really? Okay.
Or the entire season. Isn't that weird? It was, though. I love it. So I know it's awful, like that entire episode when it made you want to like punch walls, but especially the circus scene. But I mean, yeah, go on. I'm sorry, but yeah.
So then the Roanoke season, I like the first half of that when they were doing the whole documentary side of things. But then when they went to the reality TV side of things in the second half, that completely lost me after that. Because I liked what they were building up in that first half of it, but the second half So it made me hate that whole season because of that, because they had such good potential for it, and then they fucking squandered it.
You know what's weird? Speaking of anthologies, and like this really isn't okay. How can I say this? It's somewhat anthology because it's different stories each film, but it's like this revolves around the same like story, which is the Fear Street series.
Okay, yeah.
Oh my gosh, Isaiah, let me just say this on the record. That is probably the best series of horror films I have seen as far as slashers go. I mean, I couldn't tell you. I mean, those were so good. Whoever it was that wrote, well, I know who wrote it, but whoever directed and everything, I'm telling you right now, like 1978,
Yep.
I think. I mean, oh my God, I couldn't have asked for anything else. You know what I did have a problem with? The only thing I had to complain about was the fact that I felt like you had to literally turn your brightness up on your TV in order to see the damn screen. Right. That was it. That was the only thing. But
yeah, I highly enjoyed the Fear Street series. Do I think things could have been better with it? Yeah, but overall, I mean, it was very entertaining. It did its job. It told a great story, and honestly, I felt that they got better with each one.
Yeah, which one was your favorite?
The last one, the 1666.
Okay. Yeah, everyone. That's the ongoing consensus I'm getting. I liked the last one. I did. It's probably second to mine. 1978 just done something to me. I mean, I don't know. That gave me like everything I was looking for.
Right.
I don't know what.
Yeah, and I love that one, obviously, because the callbacks to Friday the 13th and everything, you know.
Right.
And I love the look of the killer because they went with kind of the reboot before Hockey Mask Friday the 13th look, you know.
Yes.
Which I loved. I loved that look. So, yeah, I mean, but there was something with 1666 just because it kind of felt like The Witch in a lot of ways. Yep.
Did you get the Village feeling out of it? Because I did.
I sure did. And then the fact that they brought it back to present time, or, you know, 1994.
Right.
I like how they kind of brought it back around and kind of finished out the story and rounded everything out.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
But yeah, so.
But yeah, overall, I mean, yeah, good series, definitely.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Anyways, are we ready to talk some Halloween 5?
Oh, yes. Honestly, we literally got onto this tangent. And I'm honestly been here for it. Don't get me wrong. I totally forgot we were about to talk about Halloween 5. I love it.
I love it.
All right. Yes. Of course, I'm always here to talk Halloween 5. I didn't even have to pull up notes for this. I didn't have to do anything. Whatever you want to know, I got it. Like, this is my film. Okay. I can't help it.
All right. We're gonna test that then.
Oh gosh. Okay. All
Just
right.
kidding.
I'm ready. Okay. Never mind. I'm pulling up my IMDb right now. Just in case. Oh my gosh. Anyways.
I love it. All right, well, while you're doing that, let's take a look at Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers.
You sense something? Tell me what you know. I prayed that he would burn in hell, but in my heart, I knew that hell would not have him.
Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers.
So Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers was released on October 13th, 1989. It was directed by Dominique Othenin-Girard. One thing of note with regards to this director, kind of like with the director of Part 4 before this, is he didn't really kind of do anything of note movie-wise. Did a lot of TV after directing this, so that seems to be kind of a theme here. Is they do a lot of TV after doing these Halloween movies? So
yeah,
but yeah.
I mean, I don't really know. I think it speaks for itself. I'm not gonna lie. I mean,
right.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, anyways. Shit. I love it. It's so good. So, for the cast for this movie, coming back, obviously, is Donald Pleasance as Dr. Loomis. And one thing that we've been kind of talking about a little bit, Jesse, with Dr. Loomis, is kind of like how he's got this overarching story of how he just becomes more and more crazy as the movies go on.
Yeah, he does. He becomes like extremely obsessed, and I know, and I don't know if you're going to mention it or not, but I feel by this film, his scarring has become a little bit insane.
Yeah.
For me on his face. Like the makeup department definitely, I feel like they took 15 minutes and said, okay, go ahead.
Right.
It
looked pretty bad, and it looked so different in like every scene.
Yeah.
Like there was no continuity when it came to the makeup, it seemed like, with his makeup.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Which is sad because it was K&B that did the makeup for the movie. And
I know. That's what I'm saying. So
it's
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. So Donald Pleasance is obviously back. Danielle Harris is back as Jamie Lloyd in her second go around with this. We've got Ellie Cornell back as Rachel, even though she's hardly in the movie. We've got Bo Starr back as Sheriff Meeker. We've got Tamara Glynn, and finally Wendy Kaplan.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I just love her so much. Like I'm her biggest.
I kind of figured that was coming. I love it.
I'm sorry. I just, oh my gosh. I'm telling you right now, if she ever reached out to me, or if I just reached out to her and then she reached out back, I would probably faint. I mean, I'm serious. Like that's how much in love with this character, because I see myself so much in this character.
Yeah.
It's just beyond. Anyways, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I love it. So we've also had kind of a thing going on with the Halloween movies where it seems like their budget is right around $5 million,
right?
With a lot of the sequels, but progressively it gets less and less how much they gross worldwide. So,
right, I'm pretty sure. I believe, if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, but is this not the least? Is this not the one that grossed the least amount at the box office? I'm pretty sure.
I do believe so.
Yeah.
I thought I saw something about that because this only grossed worldwide about a little over $11.5 million, which that means they didn't make hardly any money if you take into effect, because that $5 million is just to make the movie. That doesn't include any of like the cost for marketing or anything like that. So
right, absolutely.
They didn't make fuck all with this movie.
No, they were like, here you go. But see, this is what happens when instead of taking at least 2 years to work on a film, or maybe even 3 years, they said, oh, let's just go straight into it and start working on a number 5. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And do it 1 year exactly later. I mean, it doesn't give anybody any time. So hello. You know?
Yeah. So this was a kind of a troubled production, to say the least.
Was it?
Yeah.
Listen, there is footage of actual, like, usually you can watch it on like the documentaries of Halloween the series and things like that. There is actual footage of, you can even go on YouTube, and of the making of this film, and it's like somebody took or walked around with a camcorder and recorded like every backstage sequence. I mean, there was a lot of partying, a lot of drugs, a lot of craziness going on. Yeah. Okay, continue. Sorry, I just had to add that in there.
No, that's good, because it was kind of just a clusterfuck with this movie. Donald Pleasance also was very vocal about his dissatisfaction with the story and kind of the way the director was handling it, and especially with like his character, because he felt that he was becoming too like heavy and overbearing, is how he put it, and also because they weren't going off of kind of that shock ending at the end of part 4 when Jamie is revealed to have attacked her adoptive mother.
Right.
You know, in the same vein that Michael attacked and killed her sister in the first movie. So because they weren't going to capitalize on that really kind of, like, Donald Pleasance was not happy because they're making all the wrong moves with regards to making this movie. So, and on top of that, Donald Pleasance was actually only there for the first 2 weeks of filming because he had already made another film commitment that he had to leave for immediately after, because this was all kind of rushed. I mean, obviously, because it came out a year later, you know?
Absolutely. I'm looking right now at the filming dates. They filmed this from May 1st to June of 1989, so that's 30 days, which is right around normal. Usually, I mean, 90 days, I think, is like the max I've ever seen. But I noticed that they did it all in Salt Lake City, Utah, and around Salt Lake City, Utah. And I mean, right then in itself, because June, that's what is that? August, September. It was released October 13th. That's 2.5 months. That's all they had to edit.
Which is fucking like wild. Seeing as, because I mean, you didn't have digital editing back then. It was all cutting actual film and, you know, splicing it together.
Right.
So
absolutely.
That's fucking wild that they were able to do that in 2.5 months. Because I mean, yeah, granted, I wouldn't say it's a good film. But I mean,
how dare you?
But does it tell a story? Kind of. Is it an hour and a half long? Yes. So it is a film, you know. And they did their job and they got it done. But yeah, I agree. They should have taken 2 years to make it and not try to do it the year after just to try to capitalize and make money, you know.
Right.
Because they ultimately ended up not making money because of that.
Right.
And let me just kind of touch on the two main things that really irk me with this movie, okay? So number one is the mask, which, granted, the reason why they had to go with a different mask was because actually Don Shanks, who played Michael Myers in the movie, was actually originally supposed to wear the same one that George P. Wilbur wore in Part 4. But, you know, to kind of maintain the consistency. But his head was too fucking big for that mask, so he couldn't fucking fit in the mask. So.
Right, absolutely.
But
oh my God.
Why in the hell they decided to make this alien-looking, oversized fucking mask for him is beyond me. I mean...
Okay, I mean, I don't have much to comment on this because I feel like I don't need to. I feel like everyone anywhere always has something to say about that because it's awful. I don't understand it. I really don't. I don't get it. I mean, you know what? Like, I'm not saying the Part 4's mask was like the best. I'm not saying that at all. But I'll take that one over this one any day. I will agree. This was the worst Michael Myers mask. Absolutely.
Oh, for sure.
Hands down.
So that's the biggest thing for me is that fucking mask, because you have to see it all the time, and I'm like, this is not Michael Myers. That is not how Michael Myers looks.
Right.
And then the other thing is the fucking house, because they tried to find a Victorian house that looks similar to the actual Myers house in the first movie, in the second movie. But because obviously they're trying to rush production and everything, they couldn't find one. So what was their decision? Oh, let's find a fucking house that had a big enough rooms and wide enough hallways and an attic and a basement so we can shoot all these fucking things that we want to shoot. Who the fuck cares what the fuck it looks like? It doesn't have to look anything like it as long as it's got the shit that we want to try to get this film done as quickly as possible.
Yeah, and can we just talk about the fact that that it's a Victorian style?
Yeah. It's...
I don't get it. I do not, and for the life of me, I never will understand that right there. Who in whose mind said, "Hey, let's take this regular white 2-story house, right? Just your average looking house, okay, which you could find in any suburb, and say, hey, let's create a bigger one and make it look like a Victorian style house and nothing like any of the other films." I mean, I don't get it.
It just blows my mind that they could not find something that looks similar to what they had in the first two movies, when, like you said, you could find that fucking house in any fucking suburb, or even something just super similar. Like, it doesn't have to look exactly like that, but the fact that they couldn't find one tells me that they didn't actually try to look, you know?
Right, absolutely.
Because if they would have actually looked in some of these suburbs of Salt Lake, I'm sure they could have found one. But I guarantee you they didn't. They maybe looked a little bit, but they just decided, we're going to do whatever, you know, makes it easier.
Absolutely. I mean, I just, I don't even know. I don't even know. Well, right here on the trivia, I just noticed this about the house. It says that they were unable to find a small Victorian house like the Myers house in Halloween 78. I'm sorry. I don't believe that my original Myers house was a Victorian style. I mean, if it was, then I must have a really bad definition for what Victorian home looks like. It says the filmmakers chose a bigger, more mansion-like house because they needed a house that could provide wide rooms, hallways, an attic, and a basement and a laundry chute. Excuse me? Right. No. No, here's what I think they thought. I think in their mind, they thought, oh, well, this movie probably won't do that good. So maybe nobody in 30 plus years from now will ever make a big deal about this because maybe not that many people will have seen it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
well, it's like, well, guess what, motherfucker?
Guess what? Here we are, August 25th of 2021, talking about it.
Fuck. I love it.
Oh my gosh. So anyways, okay.
So those are my two biggest gripes with this movie. Another one that's kind of a more minor gripe is the fact that they killed off Rachel so early in the movie. And
they did, and that bothers me. That, here's my thing. Name another slasher film of that time period, and there might be, I don't know, in my mind. But explain to me how in killing the main character of the entire fourth film on, which is kind of in a way the new Laurie Strode character, okay? Yep. And killing her off 20-some minutes into the film and taking the supporting character, Tina, and pushing her right up to the leading character of the film for the rest of the film. Because that's all you ever see aside from Jamie.
Right.
You know what I mean? And Donald Pleasance. So my thing is, I mean, do I think the idea, maybe I think in their mind they thought, oh, this might be a very original idea because not a lot of horror films do this. They usually have one final girl. And how interesting would it be to kill off the final girl and then create a new final girl? But joke's on you, there is no final girl because the only final girl there is Jamie, who's the, you know what I mean? In my mind, that's how I'm rationalizing it. But I agree with you. Totally. I don't think she should have died that early in the film. Absolutely not.
I mean, I understand Mustafa Akkad's kind of thinking originally because he originally wanted to kind of just show that nobody was safe. But even him, he said that's his biggest regret of that film was killing off that character because it was stupid, honestly, is what it comes down to. It was a stupid decision.
It was. And imagine the angle of the film if she had not died.
Mm-hmm.
So different. I mean, completely different. I don't know if it would have made it better. I would like to think it would have because I enjoyed her character in the fourth film, and the 20-some minutes we got, in the fifth film, but
they made her almost very dumb in the fifth film.
They did, and not only that, but I remember hearing the originally way they wanted to kill her. It was a way that she didn't want, like the actual actress, Ellie Cornell, didn't want to happen because she felt it was a lot really intense.
Yeah.
Which I guess at the time, having scissors, jab through your neck or down your throat or something probably would have been in 1989. Right. You know what I mean? I'm going to go ahead and assume, probably would have been. But, I mean, I'm sorry. You can't tell me in the fourth film you go through a whole damn house, scale a rooftop, fall off a 20-some story, not 20-some stories, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
A big ass house. There we go. Fall off of that, able to get up, and deal with all of the shit you had to deal with for the next 30 damn minutes of the film. And you telling me because you weren't looking in the right direction, you have to turn around and get stabbed in the damn neck? Excuse me? No, hell no. No, that's just not right. I'm sorry. That's just not right. If I ever win the lottery and I am able to redo any fucking film, you know what? I ain't going to redo this film. I'm going to make a new film and literally just have Ellie Cornell act in it and give her the satisfaction that she deserves for this film.
Right.
I'm just going to make up for this, for somebody else's lacking or something. I don't know.
It's so good. It's so good.
I'm sorry. I just can't help it. Do you see what I'm saying here? How do you go?
Yeah.
How do you go from all that? And then, hello, stabbing in the neck, and you're dead. Excuse me. And you know what's so sad? We don't even get a release. We get to see it for a hot, maybe 2 seconds.
Yep.
And then it cuts straight over to Jamie. And I'm like, excuse me. At least with Tina, you got a whole 10-minute running scene or chase scene. You know what I'm saying? Even if you can't see the damn they're doing it. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. I mean,
no, it's a good point. It really is, because it's just kind of everything with this movie. It's just like they made wrong decisions with almost everything in the movie. I mean, other than like the casting with like Tina was perfect. I thought that was a really good choice with Wendy Kaplan.
They did. The interesting trivia on that. When they screened this film, a lot of people clapped when she died because the character of Tina just annoyed the fuck out of people. So when she died, like their premiering of it, they actually applauded while she was in the theater watching it because they were so excited that our character died. I mean, listen, original character. Yes. Did she stand out? Yes, she does stand out. I mean, you can't help it. She's annoying as shit. I mean, and we all have a friend that's like that. We all have that one friend. Unfortunately for my friends, I am their Tina, and I think that's why she stuck with me like so long. And I think that's why this character sticks out so much for me, because I think out of all other characters in a bunch of other horror films I've seen, this is probably the character I most relate myself to.
Sure.
Because she just doesn't give a shit. And she ain't afraid. I mean, hello, she rode in a car. I mean, she didn't know at the time, but she rode in a car with the damn serial killer.
Right.
For like the whole thing, kissed him on the lips and everything. And by the way, speaking of stupid moments, Michael Myers would never have let her get out to go buy a pack of fucking cigarettes. I'm sorry. Excuse me? No. Excuse me, Mike, going to buy a pack of smokes real quick. Like, no. No. See, that's another one of those stupid choices, okay? But whatever.
It is. And then this movie's full of them.
Right. I mean, interestingly enough, she really didn't do much after, like the actual actress herself.
Yeah.
Really didn't do a whole lot after this. I think now I follow her on everything, but she's now kind of settled into mom life, and she does a lot of independent work, like a lot of independent films, like low budget fan films. She does some that actually Tamara Glenn, who plays Sam in this film, she actually was in a Friday the 13th fan film that just recently came out, actually.
Oh, really?
It just recently came out. I can't remember what the name of it was, but anyways, I'm actually gonna look it up while we're talking about this, because I thought about that and I thought, oh, he would really like to know that. Oh, okay, here it is. She's actually done a bunch of films. Actually, she plays in Terrifier 2 as the shopping mother. So a lot of horror films. But get this. So before all these films that she just started doing, I mean, she hadn't really done anything since the early 90s. So, and then all of a sudden, boom. Like, you should see all her list of films that she's filming right now. So she must have just decided, hey, I'm coming out of retirement and doing a bunch of fucking horror films or something.
Right.
Anyways, she played in Friday the 13th, Vengeance 2, Bloodlines, which is in post-productions.
Okay. Yeah, so that's the new one that they're filming currently. Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. And she has I'm pretty sure, she plays the character of Lauren. Pretty sure she's a main cast character. So, yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's
so
awesome.
Good for her, I guess. So anyways, a little tangent there, but all right, I'll let you go. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I just had a couple little trivia things that just kind of reading it, I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't notice that. So this is actually the last film in the series to feature a pumpkin in the opening credits before Halloween 2018, and I didn't even realize that until I read that, because now that I think it back, none of them from 6 all the way through the Rob Zombie movies have that in any of the openings anymore.
Interesting. Okay.
Which I thought was really weird, because every single movie up through 5 had the pumpkin in somewhere in the opening, credits somewhere. So I thought that was great.
Right.
The other thing was the scene where they're driving in the car and Michael's obviously wearing the other mask. Originally, I guess that was supposed to be a Ronald Reagan mask, but they didn't want to have the political subtext, so they had it altered.
Correct.
So, but I can totally see that kind of resembling a Ronald Reagan mask now.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's interesting to think of because, and this just goes back to those little annoyances that should have never happened. The whole Men in Black sequence they did in this film that led us to the atrocity that was the curse. I mean, the only thing good about that film was Paul Rudd, but that's a whole nother topic for another day. I'm just saying that I did not like that. I don't think they needed that. I think it should have been a cut and dry kind of thing. I think if they would have went with just a regular type of ending, like, she lives, she goes crazy. I don't know, what the case may be, just something normal. I don't think they had to add all that spiritual friggin' heritage bullshit with the cult thing.
Right.
I don't feel like it needed to be done like that, but that's just me. Anyways.
No, I agree to an extent. There are certain aspects that I do like with regards to the whole Thorn thing, and it gets so convoluted is number one, because it just gets to be too much.
It does.
And
it does.
They kind of wrote themselves into a fucking corner when it comes towards curse.
Right.
But back to the Man in Black thing really quick is the last thing I had for kind of a little trivia is that Don Shanks actually also played the Man in Black in most of the scenes. So because they didn't have any idea who the character was going to be in the movie, which is another telling sign that they didn't really know what they're fucking doing with this movie. So
okay, where are the writers at on this film other than like the character? Okay, so aside from John Carpenter and Deborah Hill, I'm looking at Michael Jacobs. Oh, look, the director was also a writer. How interesting. And Shim Bitterman. Okay, I got to look at these people's works because there has to be. Okay, well, one of them never worked again. There's literally nothing on here until literally it's something that's in development and post-production, moving back. Okay, how about the last one? Shim Bitterman. I better see something on here. Oh, interesting. Hasn't worked since 2009. What do you know? Okay, well, not much to be said there.
No.
I think we got exactly what we intended to get. I mean, it is what it is. Whatever. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Oh my gosh.
It's just, kind of going back to the Thorn thing, because this is obviously where they start really introducing that. Because, and if they would have never had the Man in Black, that wouldn't have kind of opened up the whole cult discussion really, because you've got this mysterious person that's working with Michael, and it wasn't needed, number one. I mean, honestly, just having him is enough. And kind of the whole family storyline that's going on, that's enough. This is kind of the start where they're adding things just to add things. And they really didn't need to. It's just bad writing. Right. It's like there's just too much shit going on.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, there is a lot going on in this film. Again, there's a lot wrong with this film. Listen, if you are a Halloween fan, you are going to find it entertaining. I will say, I think that you're going to be annoyed. If you can't really, how can I say this? If you watch the Halloween, for someone who hasn't watched the Halloween films, if you were going to watch them in this timeline, which, is obviously 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, right?
Yep.
Yes. Okay. That's that timeline. If you were going to watch that timeline, you're probably going to get pissed off now. And then you go to watch the second timeline, you're going to be like, okay. And then you watch the third timeline, which is the correct one, which is the one that we are on now, like living right now. You're going to look back and be like, that first fucking original timeline that they had going is really fucked up.
It really is.
I mean, that because honestly, the curse, it didn't end the way, sadly, it didn't, we didn't know it at the time until H2O came out, obviously. But we realized very quickly, I think, that wasn't it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was kind of like Friday the 13th, the Jason Goes to Hell thing.
Oh, for sure.
Is that? Yeah. That's a whole nother conversation too.
Right. I mean, honestly, the fact that they had to keep almost rebooting this franchise and having different continuities is really telling of how shitty they were starting to get in the fact that they had to, like, okay, we need to do something different here because this isn't working anymore. So it's understandable, especially after Curse, where they're like, okay, we need to simplify this shit, number one. So they forget 4, 5, and 6 and just go off of 1 and 2, and then H2O and then Resurrection. But obviously, Resurrection was a steaming pile of shit as well.
What one?
Resurrection.
We don't count that one. We do not count that one. Oh my gosh. Listen, I mean, okay, let me just say this. Halloween 5, it is not the best Halloween film. I know that, okay?
Yep.
It's my favorite. That's my opinion, obviously. But let me just tell you, it is damn well better than Halloween Resurrection. I am so sorry.
Oh, for sure.
That film was trash. Oh,
it was.
God.
The one thing I will give Halloween Resurrection is outside of the first 2 movies, it's the only one to actually get the Myers house correct.
Yes. Okay. All right. You're right. I will give it that too. Absolutely. Thank you for pointing that out. But I'm telling you right now, I mean, I can't. That's a whole nother topic. And here's the thing. That timeline, that's an ideal timeline. I love that idea of that timeline. 1, 2, H2O. And then if they would have done Resurrection properly.
Yep.
And, again, just, oh, gosh. Even, it's sad when Jamie Lee Curtis herself sits there and says, yeah, I had to do that film. I didn't want to do it, but I was already obligated to do it.
Yep.
I mean, what does that say? Right there tells you, And honestly, though, like, to speak to the new, continuity and stuff like that, I mean, just to the new timeline that we're going in, I don't have an issue. I love it. It's the best one. I'm sorry. I don't care what anyone says. I think this is going to be the best one. The only thing I wish, and I think I'm going to get my answers, Isaiah. I really think so. This is off of Halloween 5, but I have to tell you this because I've been dying to tell somebody. I think I'm going to get my answers because the only issue I've been having with this new timeline is I really love Halloween 2. That's one of my favorites. And I was so hurt that they did not include that because here's my thing. It happens all in the same night as the first film.
Yep.
So it really bothered me. Like, okay, I understand you all didn't want to do the brother and sister thing. I get that. But like, there's ways you could have wrote around that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just felt like they needed to add that. Here's my thing, because if you go based off of the first film, I need to see them catch him. I need to see flashback sequences. There's a lot of loose strings that I need tied back together for me to like feel complete with this timeline. And I think I've seen a little bit. I think I'm going to get that. So we'll see. If not, you'll hear me bitching about this the next time we're together.
Oh, I'm pretty positive we're going to get that. And
I hope. Yeah.
I've seen pictures that they've redid the Myers house too, so that's going to be featured in the movie. Whether it's back in time or like present time, I don't know. But the fact that we're getting the Myers house in the new movie got me excited. The fact that they're talking Dr. Loomis might even show up in the movie.
Like a Whitney Houston hologram kind of thing. Oh,
something. Yes,
please. Oh my gosh, give it. What would you do if Tina just showed up out of nowhere? Hey guys, I'm still alive. I would die. I'd be like, what?
I love it.
I mean, honestly, though, did you know, by the way, I didn't know if you knew this, off topic, but did you know Jimmy, who plays in Halloween 2, is actually the main character in Jaws 4, The Revenge?
Yeah.
What? Okay, let me just say, did not know that. Okay. And as you know, Jaws 4 is my favorite Jaws film, but that's...
The Revenge.
I mean, I have no taste, okay, clearly, because again, here's another 0% rating. Whatever, I don't care. I love that.
Hey, I love bad movies, so I get it.
Right. It's fine. But I didn't know if you knew that he played in, I didn't know if you knew that, but
yeah.
Okay. Yep. All right, well, back to Halloween 5 now that I'm off my, third tangent of the night?
Something like that. I love it, though. Well, just to kind of wrap things up here, what are your kind of final thoughts with regards to the movie?
Okay, so final thoughts on this film. This is one of those films that I could go back and watch it any time of the year, which really, that's with any of the Halloween films, but this one in specific, because this, as a kid, this was the one that stood out the most to me. Again, I think a lot of it had to do with the character of Tina and my connection to her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think we all have connections to a specific character in a film that we really, really love. And I think in the horror world, this was definitely my character. I think the movie had a lot of fucking flaws.
Oh, for
like
sure.
a whole pile of flaws. I wish it could have been different. Obviously, it wasn't. But it's still one of those movies that I can go back in the middle of December or January and rewatch and be completely content. And it just reminds me of my childhood and it's very nostalgic for me, even though
Okay.
I was not even born when this film came out. I was born in 93. But it's very nostalgic for me regardless, because I was a very young, like early horror lover, I guess you could say.
Sure.
You know? So yeah, I don't know. I would definitely, I don't know. It's just this, I don't know. This film is just my film. You know, I know it's not perfect, but I kind of like the fact that it's not perfect.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I can definitely
my
respect that.
Yeah, that's my thoughts on it for sure.
So my kind of final thoughts with regards to the movie is that it's definitely got a lot of issues for sure. At the same time, I still find myself watching it when I'm watching like the first 6 Halloween movies every year. I still find myself watching it every year, even though it's not my favorite. It's not to the level of Jason Goes to Hell hate for it. So I will say that. Because, like, Jason Goes to Hell, I refuse to fucking watch.
I don't even acknowledge that it exists. Which, honestly, if we're really speaking here, and I'm pretty sure you've told me before you enjoy this film, but I don't even acknowledge the fact that Jason X even exists.
That's a dagger in the heart.
I'm sorry. Yeah, here I am watching The New Nightmare and saying, it's a great film.
Right.
So, I mean, again, you know, you can't always trust what I'm saying. So, anyways, go ahead.
Yeah. So it's got its issues. It's got its problems. It's not my favorite movie in the world. But I still end up going back to it. I'm definitely watching more than I watch Resurrection or even Rob Zombie's H2, because that movie. Oh my God.
Don't do it.
Oh,
Don't do it. No.
I've got to rewatch that here in the next week or so. So
yes.
I'm not looking forward to that one.
Listen, no, it's fine. It's fine. You're gonna get through it. I promise.
I'll get through it. I'll struggle, but I will get through it.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. I will appreciate that at least. Okay.
Right. So, with that being said, I don't hate the movie like I used to, but I still don't like it. I'll watch it just to watch it with the other ones because it's kind of that story arc. Is what I'm basically trying to say.
Right. Okay.
Now, if I were to rate this movie out of 5, I would probably go 1.5 out of 5.
Gotcha.
Just because of that, because I can watch it, I can get through it. I might not necessarily enjoy it, but I like I said, I kind of like the Thorne storyline. It just got too convoluted. It did. That's kind of the issue with it for me. So I can get through it. I can enjoy while I'm watching it because I enjoy watching the Halloween movies because I love the Michael Myers character and all that. So
Gotcha.
So yeah, for me it'd be 1 out of 5, 1.5 out of 5.
Okay. And honestly, I know you're probably thinking, oh, he's definitely going to rate this high, but let me just say, I will definitely rate this honestly. I will probably honestly give this film a 2 out of 5, and I'll only give it a 1 based on the film itself, and the 2 is only because of Tina. So,
Sure.
Because like you said, yeah, this movie, it's one of those films you definitely can get through and you still find yourself watching it, and it's in some ways entertaining, and other ways it's just completely annoys the shit out of you because you spend the entire time pointing out everything wrong with it.
Right.
But you know, if you're like, of course, me being me, my favorite characters in the film, so I'm literally only focused on her scenes, clearly. But I mean, you know, I definitely agree it's not the best. at all. But it's one of those that brings back a lot of nostalgic feelings. So, but I will be honest though with the rating, and it's definitely probably a 2 out of 5 for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, I'm here for that. And we would also love to know what you guys think as well. You can always reach out through our social media. We're on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, all at CLS Podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode talking about Halloween 5. We've been talking the Halloween series, and we're going to finish up reviewing Halloween Kills once that comes out in October. So I'm super, super excited for that. And then ending with a ranking of all the Halloween films, as I said, including Halloween Kills. So working towards that.
You'll get it. Don't worry.
I'm trucking through. I'll tell you what. Before we go, is there anything you want to plug with regards to your show or anything like that?
Oh, sure. Okay, so as you guys know, what you guys heard at the beginning of this show, I definitely, the last month has been a lot for me. So as far as uploading and getting my creative outlet really out there for everyone. Unfortunately, I have not been able to, but something is in the works. Don't worry. I'm getting back on track slowly, and I appreciate everyone who's really sticking with me. Everyone's been super supportive. But yes, if you guys do want to reach out, I am on Twitter. That's mainly where we are active now, at the Scream Show Pod, or you can reach me on my own, which is I'm Jesse Austin. And yeah, I'm always tweeting stupid shit most of the time, or retweeting stupid shit, whichever. So anyways.
Awesome. Well, Jesse, I do want to thank you for being on with this episode. This was a lot of fun. I knew it would be fun talking Halloween 5 with you.
I'm glad. Thank you so much for having me, Isaiah.
No problem. Anytime. But otherwise, if there's nothing else, once again, we want to thank you guys for checking out this week's episode. I will see you guys next week.
Had to. I'm sorry.
This episode of the Crystal Lake Soldiers podcast is brought to you by the Slash and Cast Podcast Network. Check us out at www.clspodcast.com or join in the conversation on social media. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, all at CLS Podcast. Until next time, stay safe, campers.